Ladies and gentlemen, hell has officially frozen over. The sky is falling. POD has handed over the keys to the family car to me and Javi. Javi, who I'm going to bring on in a little bit. What a week. What a week we've had in Star Wars news. We're going to talk about it. We had to take last week off because POD had some FCL and family and general things going on. So today it's going to be me and Javi, who I'm going to bring on right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend. You know him. You love him. Make some noise for Richard, Eric, Javi.
Dude,
What's up,
this
bro?
intro was lit. you should do the intros now. What's going on?
Probably just from being around ring announcers a lot of my adult life, it sticks a little bit. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I've been away for a while. I think I missed the last two episodes. You did back-to-back episodes last time with Jerry. Love those episodes. Watch the show. I've been pretty good, except for all the heat that's here. It's people are melting here. It's crazy. It's never been this hot in Estonia. It's fucking crazy. But other than that, been watching football, been watching Star Wars.
Oh, you've been watching football, have you?
Oh yeah, dude. And you're probably gonna be pretty happy about what my favorite team is.
I mean, I got to ask you, where's it going, Javi?
It's coming fucking home.
It's fucking coming on, Javi.
It's coming home.
We got the Spanish versus the divers,
Italians,
as I like to call them, the divers.
Oh yeah, the fucking Immobile thing.
Yeah,
where he just. This is why I never root for Spain, Italy, Portugal, and if it's the World Cup, Brazil usually follows in that one as well. I can't root for the guys who are always fucking diving.
I would love for a football team to go to any kickboxing or Muay Thai gym and take a kick to the leg. Just take one kick to the leg. I promise you. You will feel pain on your leg, especially if it gets like wrapped around it to the back of the leg where the nerves are. That is pain, and I promise you that will stop all diving just from like a little tap to the leg.
They have to be schooled. Yes, Tim, it's definitely Euro takeover.
Yep. Tim, see if I can highlight his comment here. Oh, I can. Beautiful, Tim Etheridge. There we go. Euro takeover. Tim knows. But we got a good game on Wednesday here in London, Wembley Stadium.
It's in London.
Yeah, it's in London, Wembley Stadium, which should be interesting. Hopefully, it's not a massive super spreader event. But
well, let's hope so. It's going to be against Denmark, which is I feel kind of bad rooting against Denmark because Eriksson has been gaining a lot of empathy. So I usually root for Denmark. But I can't go against England. I've been behind England for all the shitty years that they've been having. So this time around, I really want to see an Italy-England final.
Could happen.
That would be amazing.
Could happen, especially you look at Raheem Sterling, how he's been doing, King Kane, obviously, and of course, in my opinion, one of the greatest managers we've had, Gareth Southgate.
Yeah, he's kind of a divisive figure, at least here in Estonia. I don't know. It feels like he's giving some people a lot of chances, and he's proven himself. Sure, his strategy seems like it's paying off, but I don't understand how he's not playing Grealish and Sancho more often.
Yeah.
Every time he puts Jack on, he passes for the goal. He does everything. He's everywhere. Still, he's not starting. I don't get that. What's going on?
I have no idea. But you guys didn't come here to hear us, two Europeans talk football. As much as we want to, maybe we'll do like a stream for the final. That's it. Next week, we're just going to take the stream over. We're going to talk about nothing but the final next week. We're going to talk about Star Wars Visions. So the Anime Expo Light or Light Expo, whatever it's called, they released their first look at Star Wars Visions. Now, they're saying it's going to be a group of short stories. I don't know if they're movie. I'm pretty sure that it's short movies. They're all coming out late September. They're all dropping at the same time. Javi, did you manage to have a look at this?
Yeah, I watched the featurette that came out, and it's pronounced anime.
Anime. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad for speaking in my language.
But in all fairness, I've never watched anime.
No,
Anime. No, never. Not it. So this
you never
feels
watched
kind of
Dragon Ball
pretend.
Z. You never watched
No,
Gundam Wing.
never,
Oh wow,
never. This is what I've been saying all along, that I'm not really an
you're not an
animation
animated
guy.
guy though, are you?
No, that's it. That's it. So, but in this case, it feels like well, since it's Japanese influenced, everything about it feels that it's going to be way more grittier than for
Yeah.
example, Clone Wars, Rebels, and even the Bad Batch. It feels like this is going to have some blood in it. This is going to have some death, some grittiness to it. So I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I love that they're pulling from different studios as well. So we are going to get some more kid friendly stuff. But there was a couple in there that I noticed that did look really dark and did look very like traditional Japanese influence and like samurai like
Yeah,
lightsaber katanas.
they look like katanas, exactly.
Lightsaber katanas. Like I'm sold. Like if you're put, we talk about all the time. What was one of George Lucas's main influence was Kurosawa.
Mm-hmm.
This is their way to go completely Kurosawa. And oh dude, I'm really excited for this. Like I anime is not like my go-to to watch, but I do enjoy some anime stuff like Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing, Rave Master, One Piece. Like there have been some that I've watched and have enjoyed. So I'm curious to see how it looks with Star Wars, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
there's set properties and set things that people like in Star Wars, and I'm wondering how a new medium would take that.
I think it's gonna come down to what the script is and what the. Do we know what timeline this is gonna be in, or is just gonna be
It's non-canon.
totally random?
It's completely its own thing.
Oh, awesome! I think this is gonna give it way more freedom, because I think that's one of the biggest things that I don't like about the animated stuff. It feels like we're always in this frame and we can't tell the big stories. We have to tell the side stories. This is gonna give us way more freedom and way more, more ambitious stories.
There was one that I really did like that they were talking about, which they said it's about two twins of the dark side.
Yeah, I heard that. Yep.
Which, as the dark sider on this show, that piqued my interest. That piqued my interest a lot. But speaking of dark side, the show that I have been looking forward to most, it has a filming date. It has a filming location. Ladies and gentlemen, The Acolyte is set to start filming February 2022 right here in London, baby.
So
they're going to be filming The Acolyte here in London. I believe they're going to be filming it at Pinewood Studios. I believe they've set up a version of the volume at Pinewood.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Are they using the volume there, or are they going on the set somewhere?
Yeah, so from what I've read in interviews and stuff, they are going to be using the volume that they've got set up at Pinewood Studios. I don't know if they will be, because Andor is also shooting over here. So I would imagine that there will be some locational shooting. But what I'm saying is, let's get the hashtag going. Get Matty in The Acolyte.
Dude, you got to get on that.
Dude, I need to be on that show. I don't care if I'm an extra that just gets gutted by a Sith. I don't care.
That'd be amazing, dude. This is when Tenet was shooting in Estonia. It felt like a pipe dream. Something like this can happen, Matty. You just gotta put yourself out there. You gotta apply.
Don't know, Jarvis was in
try.
Tenet. Like you were an extra in Tenet. Like you were in a fucking Nolan film,
I got
dude.
gutted. I was one of the SWAT guys who got shot on the stairs, and I go down like, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like Lucasfilm, if you're listening, like, give me 6 weeks. I'll be in the best shape of my life. Like, put a lightsaber in my hand. I'll do anything you want. If it's a young Darth, I'm not saying it is a young Darth Maul show, but if you guys want to do a young Darth Maul show, I got the tattoos. Like, I can do it.
You'd be perfect for it.
Speaking of Darth Maul for it, the showrunner, Leslie Headland, I believe I said her name right, probably didn't, but oh well. She said that the show is going to be heavily influenced by the Phantom Menace.
I love this.
And the period of time that she wonders how the Jedi got to where they are from where they were. And that really, as soon as she said that, I was like, oh, interesting, because that's kind of what they're talking about in the High Republic in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the Acolyte is set towards the end of the High Republic. So, Jarvi, what's your thoughts on this information we've been given?
This still makes me. First of all, how old is Darth Sidious? How old is Palpatine overall? Do we even know that?
Phantom Menace, probably about 60 odd, 50, 60 odd. I'm not sure off the top of my head. Maybe
I figured I think he's way older. I think he's in the hundreds or something, because I think he is, because he's got to be on the level of, not Yoda, but
he's pretty nimble for an old dude.
Well, I mean, look at Yoda. This is they're Force users. Pretty sure he's been around for a while. I still think that this is going to be a young Palpatine story.
He's 52 in the Phantom
Seriously?
Menace. Yeah.
Okay.
As the trilogy progresses, he reaches age 65. So he's 52 in the Phantom Menace.
That sucks. Well,
I mean, if it takes place several decades before, I wouldn't be surprised if we see like a younger Palpatine. And for the love of God, Lucasfilm, if you're listening, if you're doing young Palpatine, please cast Tom Hiddleston.
I thought you were gonna say that. It feels like this casting would be too easy now.
I think it'd be too perfect.
Exactly.
Like, throw him
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He would be perfect. I do agree. Like, there is no one I'd rather see there. But why not give the guy a chance who... No, wait. In The Rise of Skywalker, we get a glimpse of the young Palpatines for a while, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tune out Rise of Skywalker. That's...
Yeah.
It was like... April's probably going to kill me for this, but like the scene, I can't remember what it's called. It's in Harry Potter when Dumbledore does the thing where he plucks the memory out of his head.
No, you hated that much.
That was me with The Rise of Skywalker. I was just like, whoop. Like, okay, I'm going to put that to one side. When we get to the episode where we talk about it, I'll watch it again. But yeah, other than that, do you have any other theories or speculation?
I tried to give some thoughts before we went live, and then I figured, Jarvi, you don't know anything about Star Wars. Well, compared to you, so now I'm kind of hesitant to give my theories.
You're the PL one.
PL one. Yep. Well, the smart money says that it's going to be a Plagueis Palpatine prequel. This is what I'm guessing it's going to. I don't think it's going to be about Darth Maul. I think Maul is going to come into things in other shows already. So I don't think it's going to be Maul. I'd rather put my money on Sidious and Plagueis.
And I guess it also kind of depends on like how much of this are we going to get? Is this going to be a limited series? Is it going to be multiple seasons? Like how much of this are we going to get? I do think it will be mostly centered around probably a new character. I think Plagueis will... It's around the right time for Plagueis to make an appearance. At the very least, make an appearance. Would I love for Maul to show up? Absolutely. Would I love to play Maul? Absolutely. Would I love to have Sam Witwer over my acting? But it's a pipe dream, but we can dream. So, the Bad Batch. That's what you guys are mainly here for us to talk about. How are you finding the show so far? We're now 10 episodes in. I think we got like 6 left.
Yep, 16 altogether. I think I've kind of made my peace now. Because when it first, like the first episode was pretty damn good, and I was overjoyed that this is what this was going to be. The next episodes, almost all of them, have been downhill for me. But now that I made my peace with it, now that I know what the show is really about, because I was expecting something bigger to happen, some like big episodes, something more to come up. Now I can tell that this is the story. This is pretty much kind of in a way Mandalorian light, but more kid friendly because we got Omega, we got the Bad Batch. This is they're sort of adopting her into their family. So I'm kind of at ease now what the show is about. But I'll be totally honest with you. If I wasn't doing this show, I don't think I would be watching the series. Is
That's
my
fair.
honest answer.
That's fair. You know, I've talked to a few people that are of the same opinion. A lot of people just say that it's Mandalorian for kids, and there are some episodes where I'm inclined to agree. It's just the kid riding along with the warrior learning to become accustomed to having a kid around. There are some episodes where, you know, I'm more than happy to agree. But then we have episodes like episode 9 where I'm kind of like, okay, now the kid is starting to learn for herself. Now Omega is starting to learn for herself. She spent the time around the Bad Batch, and now we're starting to see more of her development. So let's get straight into it. Cad Bane's new ship, the Justifier, looks sweet. I love it because, you know, they're chasing Cad Bane, trying to get back to Omega. What actually, I want to go from you. What are you thinking of Cad Bane as a character?
Yeah,
because I know you haven't had much experience with Cad Bane as a character yet.
The first time I'm having any, like I've known of him, but the first time I've seen him on screen is in the Bad Batch. So when he showed up, can't remember. It's the 7th episode, 6th episode. When he shows up, it goes all out Western. He like comes up, the music comes on. I'm like, holy shit, I love this. I love this character. I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
So I'm completely on board with, because I do want more Crosshair. We're not getting Crosshair at the moment. I feel like they're saving him for the final episodes. But Cad Bane definitely filled that void for me, and he feels. I don't know who's voicing him, but that's perfect. That's a perfect match.
Yeah, Cad Bane is like the bad dude in the galaxy, and then there's the lost arc of the Clone Wars where he has a duel with Boba Fett, and Boba Fett, they end up shooting each other. They both go down. We don't know how it ends, but
apparently apparently that they talked about that his like head is kind of like bandaged or something. They think that could be from him fighting Boba Fett.
Oh, that's a good. I did think that he had the metal plate on his head.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, did it really happen? But then I was kind of like, wait, because I want to see that happen in live action. So I'm like, okay, let me table that thought for a minute. But we see that Cad Bane has got Omega locked up in his ship, and he makes a call to none other than Lana Sue. And that's revealed that it's the Kaminoans that hired Cad Bane. And I was like, okay, interesting.
They sort of made the story way smaller with who hired the bounty hunters, but I kind of like that. Because and I'm gonna jump ahead. The Kaminoans hired Bane, and the Kaminoans hired Fennec Shan.
Fennec.
So this is pretty much, we've kind of narrowed it down. Now we know who we're actually up against.
I mentioned in an earlier episode of Scoundrels that I was shocked that we haven't seen Ton Wee yet. Ton Wee made an appearance, and we find out that Lama Su reveals that once Omega is back in Kamino, that they need to get the genetic material from her and then kill her. So it's like, whoa, hold on, wait. You want her back just to get rid of her? That, to me, that ups the stakes, like even more so, because it's like, why do they need to get rid of her? What possible threat could this child be that they need to get rid of her so badly? And then it's revealed that Omega is a Generation 1 clone. She comes directly from the source, which is Django. And she also has a big brother in Alpha. And I believe I think I may have called Boba Alpha as a joke one time. So that was pretty funny that Boba Fett got a mention. He was bound to. Like, I saw a few people that were like, "Oh, they're bringing Boba in." Like, of course they're going to bring Boba Fett in. Like, he's exactly like Omega. And then, what did you actually? Yeah, what did you think of that when they mentioned the Boba Fett being the brother and Omega
I,
being the sister kind of thing?
I wasn't surprised. It felt like there had to be something in there, but this sort of gives me the feeling that there's actually no force sensitivity going on, and I'm
Mm.
totally fine with that. I don't. Think this is what me and everyone at first like hoped for. Okay, we need the force in this one. We know she's pretty good. She picks up things on the go. She's got to be force sensitive. But now it feels like no, she's very much like Boba. She's just really talented. She has the skills. She has a lot of potential. We don't need the force.
Hmm.
There's way more
Yeah.
skills and knowledge beyond the force that you don't have to bring into this story.
Yeah, we know now that she gets her skill directly from Django. She's getting it
Mm-hmm.
directly from the source. So that I was kind of relieved when they threw out the whole force angle, seemingly of
Mm-hmm.
throwing out the whole force sensitive angle. I was like, whew, okay, cool. We can stop speculating about that now. For now, anyway. But then my thing was they said that Boba disappeared at the start of the war, and you've got Echo there looking on all the Republic checks,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like Boba spent time in a Republic prison. Like you should be able to track him down. Just look a little bit deeper. So I think we're gonna get a Boba appearance at some point.
In the Bad Batch.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it might be the last episode. Maybe he shows up on Camino and goes to town on everyone, but I do
It,
think we're gonna get a Boba appearance.
it would make sense if you think about how Disney would promote their stuff because the next well no wait the next thing is
The
oh
next thing is Visions,
they're
but
shooting oh, yeah sure but I'm thinking the next live action
it's Boba
on
Fett.
us is it going to be Boba Fett
It's
because
Boba
they're
Fett in December.
shooting Kenobi they're shooting Andor something has to
Boba
come
Fett's
before that
done.
so okay so that would make sense that they're sort of also teasing their next big thing
Mm,
that isn't Visions in this case.
yeah. So we have Omega. She's in the cell. We jump back to Cad Bane's ship, and then she tries to pull the whole. Oh, come on, dude! I'm just a harmless kid. Like, what's
Toto.
yeah? Toto's there. He's trying to fix his leg, which I love the name for that robot, by the way. Toto.
Yep. I was trying to look it up before. I'm like, what was the name of that droid? It's probably going to be some like QRRF-17. Toto. Awesome. Love it. Just
Toto. Toto.
it almost feels like they watch our show and they're going, what should we name this droid? And I know some people are going Grogu Dave. Let's just go simple. Let's just
It's like
Toto.
what does he look like?
Yeah.
Or someone has Toto playing in the Lucasfilm office, and it's like, they're just thinking, that song Africa. Who sang that? Toto. Toto. There we go. Call the joy Toto. But
Really cute droid. I gotta say, the first
you're a
time
fan?
when I don't want to say Bane, he doesn't abuse him, but he kind of treats him pretty badly. So I was like, from the get go, I'm like, oh shit, I kind of feel so bad. Okay, now, oh awesome, Omega wants to help him, but she's probably gonna double cross it. I'm like, oh no, this droid is getting the worst of it. So I felt so bad for him, but I love him as a
It gets
character.
even worse later on, which is
Yeah,
bad.
gets blown up, the
You
credits
feel
fly
for the
away.
droids, man. Like I do feel for the droids sometimes. Like they get a good kick in, and like I know that they're only droids, but you think about R2 and well, a little bit less 3PO. I don't mind 3PO taking a bash in here and there, but like anytime something happens to R2, I'm like, no.
This is the beauty of Star Wars. They humanize the droids way more than the human or the alien characters. Like I would rather save any random droid over Jar Jar. So so yeah, they do have a way of giving the droids a lot of personality, and I do like that. I remember there was some. I think it was in the Phantom Menace, or no. Actually, it was in the Revenge of the Sith one where the droids started to get like sort of snippy. They started getting some real attitude, like excuse me, like stuff like that. That I was like, okay, why are they doing this now? But
Someone once said to me that R2D2 was George Lucas's way of getting away with swearing without actually swearing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, That makes complete sense to me. Then we get to this planet called I looked it up. It's called Boravio or Boravio, which is an old disused Kaminoan facility in the clouds. Now, I was watching it with my friend, who I will remain nameless because when he said it, I was just like, "You idiot." We got there and he was like, "Oh my god, are they going to Bespin?" I was like, "No, you idiot. Why would they be going to Bespin? Why would Bespin be abandoned?" And I know he watches this show, so I just wanted to shout that out there because I want him to feel embarrassed.
It feels like my kind of question.
No, you're a lot smarter than that. But then he finds out we have Cad Bane. He goes down into the ship, turns Toto back on, and then Toto, with the best comedic timing in the episode, is just like, "What are you talking about? She's right in the cell. She's right." Oh
Yep.
no! He like proper draws it out, and I was just like, "Oh no! What's he gonna do to Toto? Well, what's he gonna do to him? Like now he knows that he let Omega out. What's gonna happen to him?"
Fortunately, he doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
He's kind of just like, okay, I gotta handle this now.
And then Bane gets Omega does a runner. She manages to reach out to the Bad Batch. She finds her comlink on one of the shelves, which God knows how she found that because that ship is untidy as hell. My OCD went crazy. But she manages to get in touch with the Bad Batch, but she needs to boost the signal. So she goes looking through the old Kamino, obviously spending time on Kamino. She knows how to work the door panels. But then Bane, in one of the coolest shots I've seen in the series so far, is just Bane coming through the fog saying, "By hook or by crook, you're coming with me." I was like, "Oh, you're screwed now. You're screwed now." And he smashes the comlink. And then we hear Toto say, "An unidentified ship is approaching." I want to know, what was your first thought when Toto said that there was an unidentified ship?
Honestly, nothing. I figured it's
really.
Well, it couldn't be the bad. I wasn't expecting anything at this point. This didn't get to me, like, because we did see Fennec before, but I wasn't expecting her. I don't think I remember who I was expecting. There were no lights coming on this because I was just, okay, I'm on for the ride.
I will come out.
What about
and
you?
I will admit, with the Boba Fett reference, I thought it could have been the Slave One. For a brief moment, I was like, "Oh, is Boba coming? Is he chasing down Cad Bane? Is he going to finish the job? Is he going to come find Cad Bane, finish the job, take Omega, and they're going to run for it?" But turns out it's Fennec Shan. And then we see Ton Wee, lifeless body, laying on the floor. And at first I was like, holy shit, they killed off Ton Wee. Like,
yep.
What the hell? You bring Ton Wee character back just to kill her? Like, straight away? But then in my head, I was like, wait a minute. She was like not even a secondary character. She was like a tertiary character in one scene in possibly the weakest movie of the prequel trilogy. I was like, what? Why do I care this much? Okay, hold on, whatever. We'll go on. And then Bane with another really cool line when Omega says, "Oh, Ton Wee, she needs help," and Bane just goes, "None that you can give." I was just like, "Oh, you're such a badass. You're such a badass." That was
That's a good line.
That was cold. And then Fennec shows up, and shit goes down.
She can handle her stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, what do you think of that? Do you feel like it was a bit overkill for the young bounty hunter to kind of start getting the one up on the veteran, or did you feel it was kind of a justified position for her to be in?
I think at first Kat pretty much whooped her ass. It was not until the very last moment that she knocked him out. I felt like most of the time Kat was in charge, but still, when like the first time we saw Fennec in The Mandalorian, she was touted to be this great bounty hunter, like legendary. So for me, I remember that she didn't leave much of an impression on me, or as far as her skills go. So in this one, I love the fact that she could hang with Cad. and how she pretty much beat him. So
Yeah.
for me, I had no problems with that. I love the fact that it felt like they're evenly matched up.
And to me, that adds to what what you said about him wearing the metal plate on his head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he took the shot to the head from Boba. Is he starting to slip a little bit? Is Cad
Could
Bane
be.
slowly starting to slip, and we could slowly see the decline? Is Fennec gonna, finish him off and then take over? Is Fennec going to be the new number one? We don't know. I'm sure they're going to have a showdown again. I don't think it's the last we've seen of these two.
Oh, for sure.
But
yeah.
Then we get to the scene where Omega, she finds the cloning room.
Okay, this is where I got big questions.
Okay,
like huge questions. What's going on? Why are they cloning Kaminoans?
I'm not sure. That's the thing. I have no idea why they're cloning Kaminoans. Maybe it was like, part of my theory is that it was because it's a disused facility that seems like it's been turned off for ages. Maybe that was like the early stages of testing for the cloning, because they used to, if I'm not mistaken, before they got into cloning, they created weapons, which is why they have you have the Camino saber dart and everything. If I'm not mistaken, someone correct me if I'm wrong. They used to be before that they were into manufacturing weapons. So part of me thinks that it was just like the testing before they started to clone other people. So they were like, okay, let's use ourselves as the test rats, and then we can move on to cloning like a Django. I saw a lot of people throwing out the Snoke.
Yeah, this is my first thought as well. Before we saw that there were Kaminoans, I was like, okay, this is where this comes from.
And even Omega says, it's Kaminoans in there, and you've only got to go back and press pause. Like, it looks like a Kaminoan. Like, it may be like the head might be a bit bigger, but that's why I'm saying it's like the early stages. Like, something could have gone wrong. They could have, but I want to know what's going to happen to that one that fell out of the tank. Is it dead?
What if they first started? What if they wanted to create a clone army based on Kaminoans? Like, imagine if all the clones were Kaminoans. Like, imagine the suits, the helmets, everything.
That would be some weird fitting armor.
Exactly.
Because I'm just going to shoot you in the neck. the neck is right there. One
or just like
sniper shot. Yeah.
That's just
You're
a random thought.
Something to think about that. Maybe they were originally. Maybe they did think, okay, the Republic want this grand army. Let's clone a bunch of our lot. And then Django came along and like, nah, this guy's way better. Let's clone this guy.
Or that's something that the Kaminoans do, like the VIPs. What if Tanway isn't really dead? That she gets, like the Kaminoans, the higher ups, they get sort of transferred to their clone bodies.
Are you saying they're gonna Han Tanway? Yeah. Tanway's not really dead. They just made it look like she was. Interesting theory. I like it. Hanwei. See what I did there? But then Fennec proceeds to say to Omega, look, I'm just trying to help you. And then Omega's like, what? Like you did before? And then we come to find later on, after, Fennec and Cad Bane go at it again. Cad Bane whoops Fennec's ass for a bit, has it in a rear naked choke, doesn't completely lock it up. Cad Bane, if you're listening, you might want to work on putting the hand behind the head. But then Omega decides to jump on Toto and use him as like a flotation device to get down to the platform below. Doesn't stick the landing, so points removed for that. And then we find out after Omega escapes that Fennec has been hired by the Kaminoans just to protect Omega, not to bring her back.
Just to make sure Kat doesn't get him. I don't think she was supposed. Like, I think she was supposed to get her, but as soon as they found out, as soon as they found out that she didn't have her, that was okay. As long as Kat doesn't get her, that was the goal. But if she can, she could get her and hide her.
Yeah. Mm, yeah, yeah, I like that. I think it's just it adds more to the because for a while we weren't getting a lot with the Kaminoans. There was a few episodes where we were like, "What the hell's going on with the
Mm-hmm.
Kaminoans?" Like what and we haven't seen the Empire for a while. We haven't seen Tarkin for a
Nope.
while.
Yeah.
So we're wondering like what kind of pressure is Tarkin putting on the Kaminoans at the moment? And now we know that the Kaminoans are scheming within themselves. It's just kind of like this whole thing is going to fall apart any minute, but we don't know where all the pieces are going to fall. And I think that's a really interesting little situation that they find themselves in.
I feel like going forward now, we know so much about the, like you said, the inner workings of the Kaminoans. We probably should be getting more Crosshair and the Empire now, getting back into the mix. Do you
Yeah.
think? I'm just gonna ask you. Do you think Crosshair is gonna make it by the end of this series?
No, I think he's gonna. I think Hunter's gonna kill him.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't think he's gonna get redeemed?
Nope. There's no going back for him.
That's what
At one point, I
we
thought
said about
maybe.
Kylo Ren.
At one point, I thought maybe, but then after the episode where they're on Braga, and he shows up, and he's just like, "Oh, turn the engine on," while they're still in there. I was like, "Oh no, this dude's what?" And when he said, "Aim at the kid first," I was like, "Oh no, he's gone. He's gone." And I don't think he's going to survive. Part of me thinks that this could be a one season thing for the Bad Batch. I'm about 80% sure at the minute that Hunter will kill Crosshair, maybe in the last episode. I don't know. I would like to see Crosshair get redeemed because I really like him as a character. I think he's a great character, but nah, I think he's done. Why do you think he's gonna? You think he's gonna make a little redemption arc? He's gonna come back.
I think like knowing Disney, knowing what they did with Kylo, everyone said no, there's no redeeming Kylo now. He's killed his father. He's pretty much tried to. No, he didn't try to kill his mother, but like he's done way too much bad stuff now that there is no way. I feel like what Crosshair's done compared to Kylo is like nothing at all. I would kind of, this is going to sound fucked up, but I would rather see Crosshair go out because, like I've said before, my problem with this show has been that it's too kid-centric. I want more darkness. I want more death and destruction in there.
Well, we might get to it depending on how you're feeling about it at the end when we get to the end of talking about episode 10. But I actually know the title of the next episode. Someone leaked it on Twitter and I saw it and I was kind of like, fuck. It's a brilliant title. But I was just kind of like, oh, damn. Oh, we lost Jarvie. Oh, no. We've lost Jarvie. Okay. Well, I guess I'll carry on here. So we get to episode 10 and we start on Raxus, which is the capital of the oh, here we go. He's back. Dude, what happened?
I don't know. I think we talked about leaks and Twitter, and I think Disney just cut me off. They figured I'm gonna leak something.
Oh shit!
I don't know what happened.
Bro, Mickey Mouse is watching us,
dude. It's real.
Illuminati, dude. The Schmominati, dude. They're looking out for us. But yeah. So we start on episode 10. We start on Raxus, which the capital planet for the Separatists, which to me that was starting there was a way to show the Empire putting their nuts on the table and being like, hey, we took out the Separatists. We now have them, the capital city. We now have their planet. Fuck you gonna do about it? Like we own you now.
I love this intro to this episode.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna cut in here a little bit. This episode 10, to me, not because of the story, but this is, I think, my favorite episode apart from episode 1. This started off. I'm seeing. I think it was Senator Singh was his name.
Avi Singh. Yeah.
Avi Singh. Yeah. He starts off, and it's sort of this. The voice acting is a bit different. the tone of this episode is different. This felt like, okay, this feels like a live action episode that's been animated. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, this is what I wanted. There was no like
Okay.
record going like, oh, let's get some popcorn. There was like
I mean, there
serious
was,
stuff.
but
Yeah, but like the choices that the senator had to make, also the voice acting. This is the Game of Thrones dudes. Alexander Siddig, he played Doran Martell.
okay.
Freaking awesome. He was. I felt like he was
I recognize
almost
the
too
voice.
good. He was almost too good for this episode because everyone else was like doing their cartoon voice. He was talking kind of slow, kind of calmly, and you felt like the weight to this character. So everything about, as soon as this episode started, I was like, yes, this is what I wanted, and it felt different, and I loved it.
Yeah. I mean, he's reading the speech out. He's pretty much at gunpoint.
Yep.
And he's reading the speech out about how, the Empire is going to be great for everyone. But then he stops himself halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you think. It makes you go back and think about the prequel trilogy. And it makes you think, the Separatists were right all along. Like, at the time, we were cheering for the wrong side. Like, we were like, yeah, Republic, the clones are going to come in, the Jedi, woohoo, going to kill all the Separatists. Brilliant. Order's going to be restored. Boy, were we wrong.
Mm-hmm. We're going to get way more of that in Andor. I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, hell yeah. I think this was probably a nod of the kind of things we're going to start seeing in Andor. A lot more of the political stuff. And some of the stuff in Clone Wars, like the more political stuff, is my favorite stuff in the Clone Wars animated series. Because they handle it so well, and a lot of it you can relate to real life, to present day politics, and it was just a really powerful moment for me to see all of the citizens kind of start to rebel and push back against the Empire, because it was like, we're now seeing the seeds of the rebellion. The very early seeds of the rebellion get planted. But then the ATTE walkers come in and they quash everything.
People run away, they disperse.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, cool, right, no more. Empire put this curfew in. Again, they very scarily similar to real life. But it's kind of like, okay, here we are now. We now know where exactly we're at. Like, the rebellion is starting to take form now. And then we go back to Ord Mantell. And your favorite part of any episode, Wrecker Omega with the Mantell mix. How's the Mantell mix, kid? I love Wrecker. I love Wrecker. He's my favorite. I love Wrecker.
I love him as well, but there are times that just he's too card box at times.
Do you feel like it's a moment thing? Like, especially coming after a moment as powerful as the one before it, that it's just kind of like really takes you out of it. Like when he has these funny moments, it's kind of like right when something pretty deep is about to happen, and it just kind of like snaps you out of it for a second. You're like, wait, what the? Okay.
Funny is okay. I love funny, but at times they sort of, I feel like they're just, I don't know, they're turning him into, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, not. I love the humor, but there's just something too primitive about him at times, and he's a naive character. Let's say
he's a brute.
Yeah, but there are ways of showing, like, let's say Drax. Drax was never dumb. He was sort of a simple man, but he was funny. He was charismatic, but you didn't need to dumb him down that much. That's sort of these moments that I'm having trouble with Wrecker. But yeah, that's that.
I mean, that's a completely fair point. They go into the part, they're having a bit of the back and forth, a bit like, hey, maybe we shouldn't be taking missions on right now. We got a lot of heat on us from the Empire. They're hiring all these bounty hunters. And they go back into Sid's parlor, and Sid, first thing she says, got a job for you guys. And Hunter's like, no, we're not going to take it. And then Sid reminds them that they still owe her money. They're still in debt to her. Now, the first time I watched this episode, that kind of whoosh went over my head. I didn't think too much of it. I was like, of course they do. Like, she's gonna bleed them like a stone.
Mm-hmm.
And then watching the end part, which we'll get to, I completely forgot about the whole like, oh, we still owe you money. Like, completely missed that. But then they get the job from Sid. They say no, and then Hunter agrees, but says that he will leave Omega with Sid.
Again, they're leaving her behind.
Yeah, and Omega says, "Well, I'm part of the squad too." To which Hunter responds, "That means following orders shouldn't be a problem for you." And I was just kind of like, we're now 10 episodes in.
Yep.
And you're still having that problem of like separating the warrior and, I guess, for lack of a better term, the father figure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Omega's proven herself on multiple occasions now. You gotta learn to start trusting this kid, because they know what kind of clone she is. They know she comes straight from Django, which means they know she can handle herself. Like, she's under their training. You know, you got Wrecker teaching her how to disarm explosives, Echo teaching her how to shoot. You know, this kid, for a kid, she can handle herself in the galaxy.
And she's already very talented. So this was bugging me, but when we get to the end of the episode, this is where we can, you know, take a deep breath, and hopefully that part is over, that they're sort of leaving her behind.
I also thought it was going to play into the formula of they're going to leave her behind, something bad's going to happen to her, and then they're going to have to come racing back. That was my first thing when they said they were going to leave her. I was like, oh, great, Cad Bane's going to show up at the fucking parlor, start killing everyone, is going to shoot Sid and then take the kid, and then they're going to have to chase down Cad Bane again. I did think Sid calling Tech goggles, anytime she calls Tech goggles, I find it hilarious. She really does take no shit from them. And I think it's brilliant. I'm a big fan of Sid as a character. And one thing I did find kind of interesting was that the Bad Batch, they're still talking in terms of Republic versus Separatists. Like, they still haven't quite figured out that we're not in that universe anymore.
They're hard coded to hate the Separatists.
Yeah, and it was like they didn't want to take the job because it was for a now former Separatist leader. They were like, no, we don't want to help them. To which, again, Sid reminds them, you owe me money. And we even hear Echo say, the client's a Separatist. How do we know this isn't a trap? They are so hard-coded into the way the galaxy was before, but I still think they're finding it hard to accept the way it is now. And it's another case of like, okay, guys, like, we're 10 episodes in now. You should know the landscape of the situation you're in.
But, this is another reason why I love this episode. The fact that they still are stuck in their military ways in some ways, and that they're not these like all good characters that go on rescue missions. They still have their scars. They still have some of their programming, I'm guessing. Well, not as far as the chip goes, but still to dislike the Separatists and stuff like that. So this again was a reason why I love this episode so much.
I did love how when they get back to Raxus and they meet the protocol droid. The protocol droid's pretty much just like Echo says, we don't care, just take us to where they're holding the senator. And the droid's just like, right to the point. I like you. It's just like another case of people being dicks to droids.
Yeah.
But the droid's just being like, okay, cool, let's go. It's just like, you're gonna start giving them a break. And then we cut back to the parlor. We have Sid and Omega there have a little tiff because Sid's asked Omega to clean the parlor, which as a kid, you get jobs like that. You get given little shitty jobs to do around the house, or, you know, if your parents work at a bar or something, you help out. It's just part of being a kid. And I think that's one part that Omega's missing, is just that upbringing as a child that she's missing. And I think Sid is kind of a good character to balance out that the Bad Batch raising her to be this warrior, to be this soldier. And then you've got Sid that's basically being like, yeah, no, go clean the bar up. Like, you have chores to do. go do them. So I think that's a really interesting dynamic between the two. And then we get to the really, really fucking cool bit of the Bad Batch sneaking into the palace.
Dude, this was very much Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon going on a mission on Naboo.
Mm-hmm.
This was exactly what this felt like. I love this sort of even the planet Raxus. It reminded me a lot of
Kind of looks
Naboo.
like Naboo, right?
Yeah, the structures were more rectangular. Like Naboo had all like these round and spheres and circles. This was more rectangular, but very much looked like Naboo. And yeah, immediately I was taken back to Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think there was that one moment where Hunter tells Tech to go with Echo, to go with Omega, and you just have Tech saying that would be impossible because Omega is not with us, and Hunter's just like, shit, yeah, I left her behind.
Should have brought her.
Oh, damn it. So it's just kind of like that realization that Hunter gets was like, all right, I've messed up here.
This was also like sort of acknowledging the viewer, because I'm pretty sure everyone was like, oh, why aren't still we're back to the same formula. We'll leave the kid. We go to like Mandalorian had the same thing. Watch over the kid while I do this job. Now they sort of acknowledged it, and even the character sort of broke the what do you call the fourth wall or
broke the fourth wall. Yeah,
sort of like oh, shit, we should have brought her.
I did think, and we're gonna skip ahead one sequence because you have Sid, Bolo, and Ketch. They're playing Dejarik.
Yep.
Actually, no, we're not going to see that because I feel like Sid had a kind of Rain Man moment that she found that Omega has this skill with this game, and she thought, I could use this. I can make some money off of this kid. Like, she probably has no idea what she's doing in terms of like, the game, but she's smart and she knows strategy. So that's why I call it the Rain Man moment, because anyone who's seen Rain Man, very similar to what happens.
And she also tries to kind of she said like 30%. Omega goes 60.
60.
She knows she's good. She knows she has the upper hand in this, so she can force her way into this.
Mm-hmm. And then we get possibly my favorite sequence of the episode when the Bad Batch, they commandeer the ATTE Walker, and they just absolutely blast their way through the city. And it's just nothing but gunfire, blaster fire, explosions going off all over the place. I was like, yes, here we go. Now this is my Clone Wars. This is what I wanted. This is, Star Wars A-Team. This is what I'm here for.
That moment gave me some Return of the Jedi Endor vibes. Like the first time, it felt like Naboo and the mission. And then when they took the AT, it was like, okay, this feels like they're on Endor, like, and they commandeer the. No, it wasn't an AT-AT. There was this smaller
ATTE.
Yeah. That was that one, the smaller one.
And one thing I did think was pretty cool was how, whenever they go into battle against other clones, they always have their weapons set on stun. So again, there's that.
I thought I missed something. I thought I missed something in that episode. I'm like, why are they stunning? I thought there was like someone said something. It was like part of the plot or something. But now you said it yourself. There is no reason for that. They just don't want to
kill their brothers. It's still hard coded in them that even though the regs talk to them like shit, treat them like shit, they're just like, look, these are our brothers. Like we're the same. We're all the same person. We're one big, weird, super soldier family.
They are one person, though. That's kind of true.
They are one person. Shout out to D. Bradley Baker, who does all the voice acting for all the clones. Like, if that dude isn't making stupid money, if he's not making the same Mickey Mouse money as everyone else, that is criminal.
I'm pretty sure he's not, though.
Oh, he better be, because he is so damn talented. The way he can do like Rex and Cody and Wrecker, Tech, Echo, Hunter, and like make them all sound like the same person, but unique in their own different ways. That is a level of talent that I wish I had in. He's probably got more talent in his pinky than I do in my entire body. But I did love the moment where it was kind of like a video game moment where it's like, how do you get rid of a tank? You shoot it from behind, you shoot the tank from in the ass, and that's how you get rid of a tank. And they're in the walker,
or you rip a door off a tank,
or you rip a door off a tank like Warrior Shot. Okay, you got me there. You got me there. I didn't think of that. You either rip the door off or you shoot it from behind.
Yep.
Then you have Avi Singh, who is very politely asking them, "Excuse me, would you mind please blasting a hole in this wall?" And Rekka's just like, "Yeah, sure, no problem." He just goes, blows the wall. They make their escape. They get back to the Marauder, and Avi Singh he starts to have second thoughts about leaving. He's like, "I don't want to leave my people." And this was a really, really powerful moment because he's starting to second guess leaving, which I'm sure pissed off the Bad Batch because they're like, "Motherfucker, we just came all this way to rescue you. Are you kidding?" But he's just like, my people need me here.
Do you see? This is what I'm talking about. This is much more grown-up themes than usually. Why would they, like, it feels like the earlier episodes wouldn't try to explain this or bring this back. They kind of know, sure, he would care about his people, but why bring it? This moment again shows that I'm pretty sure this was directed by a different person than the previous ones. It felt totally different. And this moment again, you brought it up. It feels like, why would you have this in there? But I love that it is there, and it's sort of giving us, like, he's way more of a complex character than I feel like than any of the I love the Bad Batch members, of course, more, but it feels like he's way more complex than any that we've seen before.
Yeah, and again, it's setting up the seeds of the rebellion because he knows that he could be more helpful elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
He has information that would be helpful, but it's that choice of the greater good, sacrificing the minority for the majority. There's gonna have to be a few lives taken, but he needs to leave the planet, leave his people to go and help the wider galaxy. And I think that's a realization that I think the Bad Batch are gonna have to come to at some point. I think they're gonna have to be like, look, we're gonna, as much as these guys are our brothers, as much as, you know, we are all the same person, these guys aren't who they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're going to come to that realization about Crosshair. I think that's the one thing that's really making me think that Crosshair is going to get killed by Hunter or Wrecker or one of them, because they're going to realize that he's not who he was.
Interesting. Yeah, I do see the correlations there. This sort of brought another question to mind. Do we know what actually happened to all the clones before they implemented the stormtroopers?
So in Legends, the 50, I believe it was the 501st, they storm Camino, and there's like a massive battle on Camino, and basically everyone just gets wiped out. I believe, I don't know if they're going to pull that.
So the clones pretty much all get wiped out. Okay.
Very much.
Because
if I'm remembering Legends correctly, I know Tim's in the chat. He could probably correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what happens because I believe the 501st show up, and I think they're led by Cody, I think, and they just lay waste to Camino. I'm pretty sure that's what happens. I haven't read that book in a long time, so. But
okay, so this kind of sparked in me. If they, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. What was your question?
No, I was just thinking, like, what if they do manage to get Crosshair back, and this sort of, because they're already the plans are in motion to switch out the clones. So what if they get Crosshair back, and the show ends with their new mission is sort of to get all the clones off of their Order 66 sort of chip. Look, of course, it's an impossible thing to get them all back, but sort of that's their goal. Like one at a time, they go after the clones that are still left, and they try to, bring them back, sort of make them independent.
I don't think it's entirely impossible because I would like to see a kind of clone uprising. on Camino against the Empire. Maybe they go out that way. Maybe they just all get taken out. And I think the only reason I don't think Crosshair will be part of that is I think I'm going to stick with my theory that I think Crosshair becomes the first Death Trooper.
Okay.
Then he's going to be
You and Death
completely
Troopers.
gone. Yeah, dude, I love Death Troopers, especially now that he's had all the shit torn off of his face. He could get the cybernetic enhancements, and he could be, I don't know how was it. Whoop.
Phased out and
I don't
retired.
know the details too well, but from what I remember, Battlefront 2, the remaining Imperial clones were just phased out and retired.
So it's kind of vague.
Patch they made loyal to them. Okay.
So it's kind of vague. They don't really. They could still be out there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to him for correcting me on that. I felt
Thanks,
like it was something like that. But I feel like Crosshair is going to be a heavy feature in the next one. And then let's get on to the final scene of this episode, and we'll get out of here. They go back to Order Mantell. Omega's still alive. She's still fine. But they walk in, and there's this massive crowd of people. A huge crowd. The bar is packed. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's betting. It looks like one of the random places I've seen in Thailand where they're all betting on the fights and everything. And we see Omega is there playing Dejarik, and she's beating everyone. Like she's just become this kind of master of strategy, and is just destroying everyone and taking all this money from people. And Sid's just sitting there, just like, "Yep, let me count the credits that are coming in. This is great. You keep going, kid." And Hunter's not too happy about it. Hunter's basically like, "I told you, keep a low profile. This isn't low." To which Sid then turns around and says, "Hey, this kid just cleared your debt. Like, she made enough money to clear your debt to me, so show a little gratitude." And you just have Omega look away. Like, yeah, like, why are you being such a dickhead about this? And Hunter's like, "You cleared our debt?" And Omega says, "Yeah, I'm part of the team. That's what we do." So even though Omega wasn't part of the main mission, she was still helping out the squad in her own way, how she could. And I think that's why they show the scene at the shot at the end of Hunter and Omega sitting down, and he's like, "I'll tell you what, if you beat me, no more sitting out on missions." Because now he does realize that she is an integral part to the unit. She's an integral part to the squad. He can't keep leaving her behind. Like, she is part of the team. You can't
this had to happen.
Cornering her off on people. And he's like, "If you beat me, no more." And I think he fully expected that Omega was going to beat him.
For sure. And I love the fact that they don't show the outcome. They just sort of fade out right at that moment.
It's like the end of Rocky 3. Like, we don't know what actually happened.
But it's implied, and and I love this ending. And exactly, this is because it started to get frustrating. Like, they're leaving her behind. They're still babysitting her. I'm pretty sure she's gonna. Well, she's already proven that she can save them at times. When they were on, I can't recall the name. When they were saving the baby Rancor, she pretty much saved them. They were captured. She made a distraction, and they got away thanks to her. So she's already
more Django than they are.
Yeah, for sure.
She's more Django than they are. So it's kind of like, well, listen, this kid could grow up to be a better warrior than you one day.
And I need to see her use the bow again. I love the bow.
Yeah, I really like that. So, predictions for the next episode. What do you think?
It feels too easy, but we probably are going back to Camino, and we're getting back to the Imperials, and I'm not too sure if we're gonna get Crosshair in the next episode, but we're sort of outed the Caminoans now. So this has to sort of get taken care of now. Whatever their inner workings, one of them is dead now. So where are we going from here? So hopefully I'm hoping we're gonna see more of the Caminoans.
Okay. See, I'm thinking along the same lines because, as I said, unfortunately, the title of the next episode was spoiled for me.
So okay, don't say it.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
But I feel like we are going to see back on Camino. I think we are going to see more of the Empire, and I think we are going to see more of Crosshair. I think it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna. I have a feeling that now is the time that they're going to be like, okay, let's move away from what the Bad Batch are doing, and let's focus on Crosshair. I think it's going to be a very Crosshair heavy episode.
I'd like that.
Maybe even the part where he becomes a Death Trooper. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Please let this be the moment that I can come on this show and be like, I told you.
Yeah, and I drew it for you. There's only one character that we somehow failed to bring into this discussion, and it's our favorite. We talked about how the humans in Star Wars always take it out on the droids, because we like to take it out on this fucking kid named Liam. We failed to bring him into this time.
Fucking Liam.
Fucking Liam. Fuck you, Liam.
Liam is possibly the most pointless character in the whole fucking prequel trilogy. Like, any dipshit could have told Obi-Wan that the reason that he can't find Kamino is because
somebody erased it from the
archive memory. Like, it's only because Obi-Wan probably knew. He was probably just like, yeah, I'm going to give the kid his moment. I'm going to give this stupid little kid his moment. But I would go as far as to say is I hate Liam more than the general fan base hates Jar Jar Binks.
Yep. I agree with you. I think,
and I know that sounds horrible because we're essentially hating on a child.
I know. We're joking. I would rather, like, if Liam and Toto were hanging off a ledge.
You'd save Toto?
Of course, I'd save Toto. I'd say, like,
you just let Liam fall to his death, even though he's going to get there anyway.
I'd say something like, someone wanted to erase you from. No, I don't know, some stupid pun.
God, what if Liam somehow survives?
Dude, if we see Liam in some way or another, it's just I need some, Easter egg, something. I'm gonna be happy in any of the shows.
That he's dead. I need that closure that Liam is definitely dead. So
a tombstone or something.
Yeah, or just like his corpse laying on the floor of the temple.
Toto does have repulsors. You
can still save him.
Even still, I'd save him.
Yeah, could do. I'd still help him though. Even if like I reached down and he was like, "No, I'm good," I'd be like, "See you, Liam. Bye,
Liam."
But anyway, we got in our Liam hate for the episode. Thank you for reminding me. I'm glad that we didn't forget that. Jarvie, where can people find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Richard Eric with a K Jarvie. And since I'm not doing any more podcasts other than this, you can find me and Paul talking class action on the action industries. Older episodes, we haven't done anything new. But if you want to...
You guys got to do something.
Matty Kearns said that he revisited the Independence Day. No, I can't remember. Some action movie. Shit, I'm totally blanking now. Well, anyway... There's some fun episodes, and we should do like some final episode. We keep referring to it, but we never do. It's also quite impossible to do anything with PLD at the moment because this dude is keeping busy in a good way.
The man of 1,000 shows. The man of 1,000 shows. So, you got anything else you want to plug? Go watch Tenet. Go buy the movie Tenet. Get Jarvie some of them residuals.
Yeah, and go pause on the. Actually, I'm in two scenes. One
do you have timestamps?
I don't have. I have pictures where I screenshotted myself, and I actually have two roles because when I'm in the SWAT suit, you can't see my face, and when John David Washington is driving, when he's going, I think it's still in Tallinn when he's going after the what's it called, the thing I'm about. I don't know the device.
I don't know. I watched it once.
Yeah, he's like driving backwards, and I'm one of the streetwalkers. Streetwalker sounds wrong. Okay. I'm one of the pedestrians that just walks by. Dude, I wish I was a streetwalker. Like, this is me there.
Okay. That's probably given me a reason to actually go watch Tenet again because I was never going to, but now I have a reason to go back and like just pause on you and be like, there he is.
It's a fun movie. Also, did you realize the moment when we started talking about Liam, my background got all dark? It feels like I'm in the dark
I
side now.
know. I know. Welcome to the dark side, my friend. Welcome to the dark side. But you guys can find me on Twitter at Matty Gunner, Instagram, Matty_Gunner, Clubhouse. Just search for my name, Matty Gunner. You can find me all this week on the Wild Jones Podcast Network, starting from Wednesday. We have our UFC 264 McGregor versus Poirier versus McGregor 3, our preview show on Wednesday. Thursday, I will be doing a live Twitch watch along of the first Poirier McGregor fight, as well as the press conference. Friday, I will be watching the second fight. I'll be breaking all these fights down. Friday, I'll be watching the rematch, the second fight, and probably do like a weigh-in show kind of thing. Saturday, we will. My co-host Jamie will actually be at the fights because our friend Max Griffin is on the card, so he won't be able to be part of the live watch along. But again, twitch.tv/Matty Gunner TV. We'll be doing watch alongs all this week. A lot of content for the Poirier McGregor trilogy fight. And then Sunday we'll have our recap show. Hopefully we can have Max on because hopefully he'll want his fight. And that's where you guys can find me. And we will see you hopefully next week. Hopefully Paul will be back. Check out PLD Projects. Check out Action Industries. Definitely check out the FCL. I believe they have a Star Wars match. I believe this week. I think it is. So make sure you go check that out. Shout out to Tim Etheridge being in the chat and proving me wrong like the idiot I am. And we will see you guys hopefully next week. Later.
Take care.
Do the noise. There we go.